对夫妻生了3个天才，苦等16年，终于完成了人生首次被校长召见的壮举。
Oh my God, sweetie, are you okay? Who did this to you? Just give me a name. Kids fall off the jungle gym all the time.
No, I think you both misunderstood. Mark wasn't the victim. He was the bully.
翠花感觉不可能，就我家这个孩子，昨天还险些被床单捂死，不被别人欺负就不错了。校长说马科不是用武力欺负人，他有办法令不如他聪明的人感到自卑。
Sweetie, you can't make fun of other kids because they're not as smart as you.
Actually, the victim wasn't a student.
You didn't tell me he was going to be here?
原来马科霸凌的是他的老师，马科觉得那不是霸凌，只是在纠正老师的错误，但这却动摇了老师的权威，让他失去了全班学生的尊重。
You lost that yourself when you said you went to darkness.
It's an ivy!
翠花告诉儿子不能跟老师这样说话，立马向老师道歉。可马科觉得他只是说出真相，如果道歉那就是要他说谎。
Connie, you promised you'd make him stop.
Ronnie can't help you now.
和儿子谈过后，翠花了解到，马科之所以霸凌老师，是因为在学校受不到挑战，于是做点事宣泄一下。妮可提议让马科去他的学校，但他们的家庭状况可供不起3个孩子上私立学校。那如果让他跳级呢，不就能受到更大的挑战？可这也不行，马科的年龄太小了，情感上还不够成熟。这时妮可想起，有一家学校专门招收天才，而且不收取任何费用。父母闻言顿时来了兴趣，隔天他们便找到校长，递交了马科的简历。但校长担心马科的霸凌历史，翠花解释那只是孩子，太过无聊，所以宣泄一下。
Interesting. He's bored and acting out. Tell me, was that also your excuse back when you bullied me?
没想到翠花和校长竟然是同学，并且校长人生的至暗时刻就是翠花亲手缔造的，这不禁让他怀疑马科的霸凌是不是祖传的，毕竟有其母必有其子。
Marlborough appreciates your interest. I'll pass Mark's application on to my colleague.
Well, thank you both for your time.
看来送马科去这所学校是没戏了。麦克观察发现，那台碎纸机是崭新的，好像是专门为他俩准备的。看来校长真的很恨翠花，可翠花对校长毫无印象，并且他高中的时候才不是恶霸，他只是爱弄些恶作剧。但看着马科期待被录取的样子，翠花还是不想让儿子失望。麦克提议给校长打个电话道歉，但问题是翠花完全忘记对他做过什么，于是她叫来自己的闺蜜，让她帮自己回忆回忆。
Wait, was this the guy who stapled into the mascot outfit?
No, that was John Norwood.
What about the dude whose deodorant you switched for spray?
Brian Farley. And how was I supposed to know he sprayed deodorant down there?
这时闺蜜想起，是不是返校日被你扔进储物柜那个？但那个同学叫麦克，也就是翠花现在的老公。此时翠花也意识到以前的自己是有多可恶。麦克安慰妻子，也许你过去确实有恶的一面，但现在你已经重新做人，不如邀请校长来家里，让他看看你的变化。翠花闻言决定这么做，她还要铺上红毯，欢迎他的大驾光临。
Oh, was Walker the guy you rolled in that carpet?
No. But also me.
很快校长回复了翠花的邮件，答应明天过来吃饭，夫妻俩让孩子们好好表现，明天见到校长时一定要保持友善，这关系到马科上学的问题。隔天校长应邀而至，翠花热情地上前拥抱，欢迎他的到来，并向他介绍自己的孩子，尤其是马科，孩子们表现得都很好。现在轮到翠花道歉了，可翠花想了一整天，还是没记起校长是谁。于是麦克上前和校长攀谈，寻找一些有用的信息，希望能勾起妻子的回忆，结果依旧毫无效果，反而让校长觉得是对他的嘲笑。无奈下，翠花向他坦白，他很想为曾经对他做过的事道歉，但他真的想不起来了。
I appreciate your candor. I wish it were only so easy for me to forget about that election speech.
Election speech. You're Andy Volker.
And I owe you an apology.
Oh.
翠花和老公来到厨房，她记起校长是谁了。高三在她学生会演讲前，她在她的处方药剂里倒了一瓶泻药。麦克闻言也想起，校长就是那个在全校面前排泄的学生，但翠花永远也不会向他道歉。这件事她做的没有错，唯一后悔的是没给他下更多泻药。那时她暗恋翠花的闺蜜，闺蜜不喜欢她，她就撒谎说她作弊抄袭她，害得闺蜜被学校开除。可为了给孩子们当个好榜样，最终翠花还是选择给校长道歉。没想校长却得寸进尺，竟然对翠花进行羞辱，这激起了孩子们的怒火。
You're a dick.
Mila? She's right. No one can talk to our mother like that. Especially not some pedantic pseudo-intellectual.
Pseudo! I have an IQ of 135.
I can't believe you'd admit that.
So, you're just a whole family full of bullies. I guess some things never change.
You should know. Becoming an educator is a transparent attempt to wield power in an environment where you once felt so impotent.
What know you of my impotence? Your words mean nothing. Let them speak lewdly of me. What am I the worst, Sir Thomas More?
More like Sir Thomas Snore.
校长打算离开，这时马克叫住了他，凑到他耳边说了些什么。校长顿时委屈的要哭出来。
Sir Thomas More was a damned fool.
这个天才大半夜做实验，吵得全家睡不着觉，气得老爸将他的设备关闭。
What are you doing? I'm using music to stimulate a colony of nocturnal smart plankton.
Why can't it ever just be a party?
It is a plankton party.
麦克让布莱恩回屋睡觉。这时马克又来到楼下，麦克让小家伙放心，布莱恩已经关掉音乐了。
It's not Brian, it's girl Brian. Yoidio dead panagimashi nikimasu.
Why are you awake and dressed like you're halfway through a magic trick?
原来妮可在面试东京一个实习岗位，麦克让孩子们明天再弄，可孩子们却喋喋不休。麦克果断选择了妥协，让他们再弄20分钟，我也好跟你们老妈有个交代。没想这时屋子突然停电。
Power is off for the night. And maybe the water. I don't know. I hit a lot of things. It will come back on during normal human awake time. To bed, all of you, now. You're worse than the Yakuza.
I don't know what Freud saw in his mother.
直到第二天，孩子们还因为这件事跟老妈生气，妮可更是用5种不同的语言来吼他。翠花说孩子们提出了一个补偿方案，为此制作了一份长达35页的提案，来说明为何该同意他们搬出去。
Oh man, are they out of their minds? We would never read 35 pages.
翠花这次又拒绝了他们，让孩子们更加的憎恨他，每次都是由他去当这个恶人，而麦克只会不断的跟孩子们妥协，以此来获得孩子们的好感，就像一只只会咯咯叫的火鸡。麦克不承认妻子的指责，他也可以去当恶人。现在他就上楼去，告诉孩子们想搬出这个家是不可能的。
Actually, your mom filled me in, and unfortunately, it's going to be...
Mike, these are our profoundly gifted children. I think we should hear them out.
I see. Throwing my words back at me. Aren't you the sassiest of turkeys?
昨天的事给了他们一个启示，那就是当下的生存环境过于糟糕，他们俩显然需要更多的空间和自由，才能充分挖掘潜力。他们需要全天候接通越洋电话，以及在浴缸里想养什么就养什么，并且冰箱里的液氮不会被某些人拿去做酒心果冻。翠花决定这次让老公当恶人，于是果断同意了孩子们的请求，将最后的决定权丢给老公。此时麦克才意识到自己以前是有多不地道。看着两个孩子期望的目光，麦克回答道
Yes.
Really? Thank you.
Oh. Ugh.
But really, the answer is no.
What?
I know you're gonna hate me for this, so I just wanted to bank some love. What is wrong with you?
You would lie to your children for a hug?
And it worked. Let's celebrate.
为了赢回孩子们的欢心，麦克做了他们最爱吃的三明治。可明显这次的事不是一个三明治能解决的。布莱恩更是做了一张怨气值预测表，预计到2024年，麦克就会待在他停在外面的车里，看着他们开心的过感恩节。
Be grateful. By 2025, you don't even have a car.
麦克叫住孩子们，询问不觉得这样做有点不公平吗？妮可说你连看都没看，就把他们的提案安乐死了。这所房子就是扼杀他们希望和梦想的地方。麦克看过提案后，惊讶地发现，孩子们预估的租金1年高达15000美金，这根本不是他们家能承担的。这时麦克想到了一个既能不让孩子们搬出去，自己还不用当恶人的办法。他跟孩子们打赌，如果周5前能弄到15000美金，那他们就能搬出去，否则就免谈。为了挣到15000美金，孩子们开始在家里制作咖啡。
Oh, excellent. Another guinea pig. Try this.
Brian, the salon was a hit.
麦克对自己的计划自信满满，等孩子们的生意黄了，没钱出去租公寓，他还会是那个好爸爸。这时他的手机突然接到投资交易提醒，用的是他3年前开通的账户。
What are you buying?
I don't know. Seems like, shares of coffee.
Wait, Mike, should my mouth be numb? I think this coffee broke my mouth.
夫妻俩来到楼上，询问孩子们在搞什么。原来妮可研究出一套股市算法，能攻克咖啡市场，而让他们试喝那些难喝的咖啡，就是为了找出最差的品种，然后卖空他们。但进展明显不是很顺利，兄妹俩开始相互埋怨，指责是对方的过错。麦克面对这种情况，再次选择当个老好人，最后这个恶人还得由翠花来当。
Trading floor is closed. Here's what happens now. You're grounded, you're not moving out, and you're going to pay back all of that money. And if you want to hate me for this, you can hate me. I don't care.
Thank you so much, Mom.
We need boundaries.
一家人要给老爸庆祝生日，可大女儿却借口正在跟非洲贝宁的一个村子开视频会议，想要留在家里，但这可瞒不过他的2个天才兄弟。
You're lying.
Your voice dropped 2 decibels on the word village.
What? You're crazy.
That's your fake laugh. Therefore, you don't think he's crazy.
布莱恩隐约闻到了丙二醇的味道，说明他刚剃完腿毛，还用木炭做了深层次清洁，涂了指甲油，吹了发型，紧张的不停瞄手机。
I've got it. You're practicing for the LSAT.
No, you dummies. She's having a boy over. And she lied to us about it.
This is terrible. I'm shocked and horrified, just like a real dad.
夫妻俩好奇心大起，追问女儿她男友的情况。妮可回答他叫泰勒，但现在他要取消今晚的约会。翠花赶忙阻止，告诉女儿那个未来女婿，他今天是看定了，这是对他撒谎的惩罚。
This is so unfair.
Life's unfair.
We finally got to say it.
就这样，麦克的生日派对取消，全家留下来准备看好戏。等待期间，马克询问老爸：“姐姐为什么要为一个男生涂指甲油？”麦克解释这是为了给对方留下好印象，因为他喜欢他。
So should I do my hair before our interactions? Because I like you.
麦克解释那是2种不同的喜欢，那就类似我对妈妈的感情，我看到她就会心跳加速，不自觉嘴角上扬。马克说今天他在美术馆看到凯瑟琳的时候也是这种感觉。麦克没想到小年纪的马克竟然也有喜欢的女孩，真是完美继承了他的衣钵。
You think you'll see her again?
Perhaps. I'll go shave my legs just in case.
这时翠花兴奋地通知老公，咱们的未来女婿来了。可妮可希望父母离开，别让他在男友面前丢脸。麦克表示他们不是古板的父母，会给2人留下独处空间。
Hey, you.
We were lying. We're totally those type of parents. So this is famous Tyler.
麦克惊讶地发现，泰勒竟然开着一台跑车，以为未来女婿是个富二代，但其实泰勒只是个泊车小弟，业余时间会在街头搞涂鸦艺术。这时软弱的布莱恩突然硬气起来，警告泰勒，如果敢伤害我妹妹，我绝对不会放过你。
I respect that. You know you're a good brother.
Do whatever you want with her.
翠花不禁为女儿担忧起来。泰勒明显不是个良人，麦克觉得妻子想多了。咱女儿智商那么高，还会被臭小子欺骗，她不骗别人就不错了。
Use a plate.
That's her real laugh.
看来女儿是真心喜欢那个男孩。翠花无奈下找来闺蜜商量对策，结果聊着聊着，2人竟当着各自老公的面回忆起高中时的男神道格。翠花还曾和他有过一段情史，那时道格背着她偷吃，伤透了她的心。现在的泰勒跟道格简直一模一样，她决定以自己为范例，告诉女儿这样的男人要不得。
Doug accepted my friend request, girl.
Will you not disrespect me in front of our white friends?
隔天，麦克带着马克来到艺术馆，来看他的梦中情人凯瑟琳。麦克没想到儿子小年纪竟然喜欢上了大姐姐，他鼓励儿子勇敢上前搭讪，有任何不懂的随时过来问他。
Look at your brother, Bri. I feel like Mark and I are finally on the same page. And now, with my guidance, he's talking to a painting. Because Catherine Holdingham is actually Catherine Holdingham, and she's a painting.
另一边，翠花找上女儿，带着她来到一家修理店，来见她的初恋男友道格，准备来一场现身说法。可女儿见过道格后，却由衷的佩服起老妈。本以为老妈只能把到老爸那种水平的，但没想到曾经泡到这种极品。她迫不及待的想让老妈给她传授经验。
No, that's really not. You know what? Let's go get coffee.
Yo, I'm looking for somebody named Doug.
回到家，麦克询问妻子，拆散妮可和泰勒一事进行的怎么样了？翠花说和妮可谈过后，他们想到了一个更好的办法，那就是改造泰勒，把他调教成正直的好男人。可麦克瞬间看穿了妻子的小心思，就是想借机多跟妮可接触。
No, that's your yes no.
翠花说妮可好不容易肯听她说话，她不想轻易放过这次机会。可当听到妮可为了道格退出了模拟联合国时，翠花立马劝说女儿不该为一个以后只会让你伤心的男人放弃自己热爱的事业。她告诉女儿，泰勒或道格这种男人是无法改变的，他们只会不停地让女人伤心，明令禁止2人再接触。可此时妮可恋爱脑上头，告诉老妈她不会重蹈她的覆辙。翠花一气之下将女儿禁足，可没过多久她又来看望妮可，却发现女儿的情绪不太对。原来妮可刚刚偷跑出去，结果来到泰勒家时看到他正在和另一个女孩亲吻。翠花为女儿的遭遇感到遗憾，随即便要为女儿出气，报复伤害她的渣男。
Leela, charge the walkie-talkies and round up all the toilet paper.
Can we put pantyhose on our faces?
Yeah, just grab the ones from last time.
与此同时，麦克再次带马克来见他的梦中情人，可这次马克却希望老爸能去跟凯瑟琳聊一聊。麦克不想让儿子失望，于是硬着头皮跟话打起了招呼。没想竟不知不觉间，将藏在心里的话都说了出来，顿时感觉心情舒畅了好多。此时他才明白，马克不是迷恋上了这个画中人，只是和他产生了共鸣。现在他也感受到那份共鸣，理解了儿子的想法。